When considering installing a mosquito anti-loitering device in car park stairwells, or any public stairwell really, there are certain common factors that you'll need to consider. The first is that unless the problems are being created solely by people under 25 years old, you'll probably need to use the mosquito on the all-age setting. This setting uses the same annoying sound that the teen setting uses, but at a lower frequency that everyone can hear. Now you may be thinking, well, that's no good. Everyone using the car park will hate it. Well, hold on. The mosquito doesn't work by being loud and painful and immediate, just highly annoying over time. So people walking through an area with an active mosquito will hear the sound for maybe 30, 45 seconds, but it won't bother them. We've spoken to many car park users when the mosquito is running in stairwells, and they say it's not a problem, and it's better than coming across people that are drunk, blocking the stairs, or using drugs. Now this frequency of sound has a longer wavelength than the frequency it uses for the teenager setting. This means that the sound will carry further. It is therefore essential to ensure that seepage of sound out of the desired areas is prevented, as it could travel far enough to cause issue with local residents if there are any. So the first thing we recommend is to take a look at the layout of the car park, and primarily its stairwell locations and its position relative to residential buildings that could potentially be affected by sound seepage. Let's have a look at this picture of a Cardiff car park. You can see here that the car park is surrounded pretty much by shops and offices. However, directly across the street from it, on the side of the single stairwell, is a hotel. Now this stairwell has no windows in it, so sound seepage from the stairwell is not a serious concern. The only way it could happen is if the doors out of the stairwell onto the parking area are jammed open. Sound could then get into the parking area, and as the sides of the building are open, sound could escape the building. It is therefore a good idea to check that not only do the doors all have automatic closers, but they will not jam open due to poor fitting. This car park in Brighton uses mosquito in their single stairwell, and it caused issues with residents living in the building marked on the left. Investigation showed that the sound seepage was caused by high winds sucking the top door of the stairwell open and letting sound out. Also, the units in the installation were set to maximum volume, and we solved the problem by resetting them to minimum. Minimum volume on the all-age setting will cover 3 levels just fine. This car park in Sheffield has 2 stairwells, one on each side, and right next to them are hotels. Even worse, the stairwells have windows on every other level, and several of those have missing glass panels that would let sound out. Some of the windows have been boarded over, however, there were gaps, and that allowed sound seepage. Provided any windows are closed and fit properly, there is no risk of sound seepage to the outside, as even a single pane of 8mm glass will block almost all noticeable sound. So once you have an understanding of what is around the car park that could be negatively affected by sound seepage, it's important to check the stairwells and determine the installation location of the mosquito units and any aspects of the building that need attention beforehand. When installing mosquito in stairwells, we recommend starting at the top level, pointing down through the well, with a mosquito on every third level to provide sufficient coverage. Once that's done, check for poor fitting windows. Windows that can open should generally be shut when the mosquito is in use, and doors should be checked to ensure they are properly closed and also that they can't jam open, allowing sound out onto the parking floor. It should also be noted that if your stairwell network has doors either in the stairwell or around the elevators, the sound of the mosquito will not penetrate them to any extent, and you will need to use additional units to cover the area on the other side. If you take all this into consideration, mosquito will not only be highly effective at keeping stairwells clear, but you won't inadvertently bother anyone outside the premises.